The last time I did a video on Enrique Tarrio, he was trying to get an early release because he was talking about how horrible the conditions were and he's not getting treated right and the COs are bothering him and the usual things, the same things we hear from black men that are in there. Well, the judge has denied his early release. I don't know what he need an early release for. You're only in there for 5 months. Yeah, I mean, y'all get laughable sentences. So this is the Washington Post. So Henry Enrique Tarrio, a national leader of the far right group, the Proud Boys, yeah, the Proud Snitch, has been denied early release from a DC jail by a judge who ruled that poor living conditions in the facility is not sufficient. So they're saying that reason is not sufficient for him to be transferred to home confinement. And let's face it, if you're going to do that for him, that you got a whole jail full of men you need to do that for too. In a written ruling, DC Superior Judge Jonathan H. Pittman said he largely believed Tarrio's allegations made at the November 15th hearing about experiencing unsanitary conditions, mistreatment at the jail. Yeah, well, kind of going to be hard for you. We know who you hate and we know who's mostly in that DC jail, because when jails went up right after slaves left the plantation. See, that's when we went from, our forefathers went from being enslaved to being criminals. So we know from the jump who these prisons were designed for. But see, they're getting caught up in it a lot more often today. And woo, they can't handle it. These people cannot handle it. They all this tough talk out in the streets and very blatant racism, but when they get up in the system and get caught up in it themselves, look how fast they crumble. Mm, mm, mm. All right. So the judge noted that the DC Department of Corrections admitted that much of what the defendant has claimed did in fact occur. But after reviewing Tarrio's three legal arguments for being let out of jail, Pittman said each argument fell short. Tarrio, 37, is serving, he already served half of his sentence. He's already served half of it. Okay, so he got a 5-month prison term and he's already done half for two crimes that he committed. After the hour-long hearing, Tarrio and his attorney said Tarrio has endured abuse by jail staff members, unhealthy living condition, poor food, lack of medical care. The complaints echo the findings of a surprise inspection of the facility last month by the U.S. Marshal Service, which listed numerous systemic failures at the 45-year-old jail in Southeast Washington. Really? Y'all weren't in the mood for no surprise inspections prior to this, right? Oh boy. In seeking a transfer to home confinement, Tarrio said his Eighth Amendment right against cruel and unusual punishment was being violated in jail. Wow. Y'all, look, I can't have sympathy because Black people have suffered cruel and unusual punishment for 500 damn years. Do you think I'm going to give a shit because you are experienced that for five little short months? So what? Suck the hell up. You know, boy, these are some crybabies. These are some cry babies for real. So with evidence and testimony, and not at a hastily scheduled 60-minute hearing. Even if Tario prevailed in such a lawsuit, the appropriate remedy for unconstitutional conditions of confinement is correction of the unconstitutional conditions of confinement, which are experienced by all inmates, not just the defendant, Pittman said in his decision, issued shortly after 11 p.m. Friday. In addition, Tario sought release under a superior rule that allows a judge to reduce a sentence after it has been imposed. But Pittman said that the rule does not apply to sentences like Tario that are under appeal. Tario also asked to be free under the district compassionate release. Look who wants compassion. This dude that hates black people, he wants compassion, y'all. I'm sorry, all of you insurrectionists and you white supremacists in these groups, when y'all go in there, I don't feel bad for you. I don't feel bad for you. And you know what? It's no telling how many people that he has crossed the path of in the black community that he's done wrong. Because these dudes that go into these groups, they go out of their way to be a terrorist, a domestic terrorist to us. You think I'm going to feel bad for them when they go to jail? Especially this dark supremacist? Get the hell out of here. He wants a compassionate release. You mean that compassion that you don't show? That compassion? But the judge said Tario fails to establish his case, presents extraordinary and compelling reasons warranting a modification, which the statute requires. So he did not make his case credible enough for the judge to say, okay, I can let you go. Most of the roughly 1,500 inmates at the jail, including Tario, have local criminal cases in Superior Court, but 700 others have federal cases in U.S. District Court. The findings of the surprise inspection prompted the Justice Department to announce the 400 federal prisoners to be transferred from the jail to a U.S. penitentiary in Lewisburg, Pennsylvania, a process that authorities have begun. So they started moving people. I guess the conditions were pretty bad, which they are going to be. So if they're unbearable, see the people that set this shit up. Okay. I mean, really, everything they set up is a disaster. What's one more thing? The Marshal Service and the DC government signed a legal document November 9th in which they agreed to work together to improve conditions at the jail. Wow. So an insurrection had to happen before they came to this agreement. Isn't that pathetic? So, mm, mm, mm. you know, this dude is going to be out by the beginning of the year. I mean, look, you're complaining about the COs and the staff are bothering you. Just imagine all the people in the streets that you bothered at one point in time, but you're not able to do that now. So, y'all, please tell me what you think. No exceptions, because when it comes down to us, there are no exceptions. There's no compassion. There's no understanding. There's no empathy. There's nothing. And that's exactly what you people that always do these things and always got flippant things to say when black folks go to jail. Hey, like Tareen Rain says, I feel nothing. Please leave your comment and subscribe. Don't forget to hit on the notification bell, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace, family.